Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network, presented by Cheyenne Kubota. From college basketball's highest altitude on the high plains of Laramie, Wyoming, tonight the two hottest teams in the Mountain West face off. The Utah State Aggies visit the Wyoming Cowboys. A look at the conference standings about a month from the Mountain West tournament. It's Boise State, Wyoming on top, Utah State back in the hunt. The Aggies at 6-5 against conference competition. Hi everybody, glad to have you with us alongside the coach Brian Burton, Chris Sylvester on hand, and Wyoming is back on the national map. 3 big resume wins last week have the Cowboys on the doorstep of the top 25.
Yes, they're knocking on the door. This is a big one tonight. They play the hottest team in the league. Utah State's won 5 in a row. Wyoming's already beaten them once. Utah State coming to get that revenge. Let's see what happens tonight for both teams.
Well, with more on the rise of the Pokes, we say good evening to the third member of our crew, Bridget Howard.
Thanks, Chris. This Wyoming team is getting some national attention. CBS college basketball insider John Rothstein deemed last week as Wyoming week after the Cowboys beat Fresno State on the road, Colorado State, and Boise State, snapping their 14-game win streak. From the March Madness account, Andy Katz tweeted that the Cowboys were his team of the week. So it's safe to say that this Wyoming team is certainly making a case for themselves as we get closer to March.
Tonight's impact players will start with Utah State. Justin Bean, a 2-time All-Mountain West selection, leads the Aggies.
Yes, leads them in points, leads them in rebounding, does a little bit of everything for this team. He scores inside, he scores outside, shoots over 50% from the field, also over 50% from 3. Does it with the ball in his hands, does it without the ball in his hands. He does it all for the Aggies.
And on the other side for Wyoming, if the Cowboys are back on the national map, you have to put Graham Ike in that conversation.
Yes, he's playing as well as anyone in the nation, putting up points, rebounds, just had 33 against Boise State the other night, had the game-sealing shot against Utah State with 3 seconds to go. He is a major force in the Mountain West Conference, playing as well as anyone.
Should be a fun one tonight from 7,220 feet. Mountain West basketball, Utah State, Wyoming. We'll have the starting lineups and the opening tap up next.
Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Laramie GM Auto Center, Adidas, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, and Pepsi.
Well, tonight's starting lineups presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming as we come to you from college basketball's highest altitude arena Auditorium up on the high plains of Laramie, Wyoming. Second meeting this season between Utah State and Wyoming. Stephen Ashworth, RJ Idlerock, the 2 guards. Aggies a little bigger tonight with 3 forwards starting. Wyoming, they have been perfect at home this season. It's been more than a calendar year since the Cowboys have lost on their home floor.
Yeah, Coach Linder actually spoke about that after one of the games last week, after one of the big wins at home. He said, this is why I chose to come to Wyoming. I know this is one of the best home court environments, home court atmospheres, and home court advantages in the country. They are undefeated. It's playing out here in Laramie.
Utah State, the longest active winning streak in the Mountain West at 5 games. Wyoming, as hot as anybody. Jeff Linder in his 2nd season as the head coach. The 44-year-old Denver native spent the previous 4 seasons in the Big Sky at Northern Colorado. And Ryan Odom of Utah State in his 1st season as the head coach. Everybody knows him from the famous 16-1 upset when he led the UMBC Retrievers over Virginia back in 2018.
Yeah, the only team ever in the history of the tournament to do that, and comes from a great lineage. His father, Dave Odom, retired coach now, was SEC Coach of the Year back in the day at South Carolina, was also multiple-time ACC Coach of the Year. Wake Forest, he coached Tim Duncan.
Well, there's a bit of a change in the starting lineup for Utah State. Missing a couple key guys despite putting together their best stretch of basketball this season. Bridget Howard has more on the situation for the Aggies.
That's right, Chris. Sean Bairstow is out for the Aggies tonight. The junior guard has started in the last 10 games. He joined the starting lineup and had scored in double figures in 8 of those last 10 games. The Aggies will be without him tonight, but they did have a plane on standby for Bairstow. It's less than an hour flight from Logan to Laramie, so they had a plane ready for him just in case he was ready to go, but unfortunately, the Aggies will be without Bairstow tonight.
Oh, thanks, Bridget. That's a big loss as Horvath opens the scoring. Super senior from West River, Maryland, one of 2 guys that followed Ryan Odom over from UMBC.
Yeah, got a great layup on a patient possession. Wyoming doing a great job taking away the 3, but I don't think they want to give up a layup. And speaking of layups, Maldonado with the baby hook to start the game.
Well, Hunter Maldonado, the 6'7" senior from Colorado Springs, was named Mountain West Player of the Week for a 3rd time this season yesterday. And today named the National Player of the Week. Horvath can step out and shoot it and travels. Well, Utah State, during this 5-game winning streak, the Aggies have prided themselves on not giving the opposition extra possessions. They don't turn it over a whole lot.
No, they don't. I think he wishes he had those steps back. And speaking of good steps and good footwork, Maldonado putting on an early clinic in the post as a guard.
Graham Ike puts his back to the basket and scores with the southpaw flip.
Speaking of clinic, this big man does it all in the paint. I asked him before the game, who did you study? Who did you watch growing up? He started with Sam Perkins, and then he added Tim Duncan, who Coach Odom's father got a chance to coach at Wake Forest. He also added Akeem Olajuwon in the mix.
RJ Idlerock turns it over. Back-to-back giveaways from Utah State. Idlerock didn't play in the first meeting between these teams. He was in health and safety protocols. He's the other UMBC retriever that followed Ryan Odom to Logan, Utah in the offseason. Senior from London, Wenzel, misfires on his first attempt.
An early set to draw up a 3 for Wenzel. Got a great look, just couldn't quite knock it down.
Horvath, bad pass, and saved somehow by Idlerock. And now Horvath buries the corner triple.
Yeah, tough shot, tough shot. Almost a turnover, they were able to save it. Almost a steal, they still were able to recover and paid off in a 3 in the corner.
So Brandon Horvath has the first 5 for Utah State. Ike loves to go to his left, and this time it's off the glass and in.
Yeah, that is the exact play that they ran with to score, to actually get the go-ahead bucket up there in Logan. Ike scored the exact same way almost. As you see this left ISO, high post ISO, gives a little shake. Opposite, comes back to his left and scored that same basket with 3 seconds to go up in Logan, Utah to seal the victory.
Rylan Jones, the first substitute for Utah State tonight. Spent the last 2 seasons in Salt Lake City at Utah. Ashworth had some blood on his jersey, so he's being attended to at the Utah State bench area. Justin Bean, 32 points, 10 rebounds last time. Late in the clock, Idlerock misfires.
Yeah, one big thing you'll see from Utah State offensively as Ike pushes in transition.
Ike draws the foul, first on Utah State. Graham Ike, sophomore, last season injuries limited him to just 12 games, but he has taken that big leap that every head coach hopes a freshman does to sophomore season. He's a top 20 scorer in the country and one of the better players in this conference.
Yeah, he's by far played as a first-team all-conference player. Coach Linder has spoken about it many times. He got a chance to watch him play when he was at Northern Colorado, recruited him, thought he was actually coming there, imagine that. But he had 2 injuries toward the end of his career in high school that allowed Linder to still believe he had the ability. He just needed to get back healthy, and boy, was Linder right on the money with that evaluation.
Ike dropped 23 on Utah State. Then Logan had the game-winning layup with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, going back to Utah State and their offense, you'll see a lot of pace, space, and looking to stretch you out and shoot the 3. You'll see a lot of ball movement. You'll see a lot of player movement. Coach Odom really looking to get the ball swinging. He likes to call it hot. Hasn't quite been hot for their team so far this evening.
That's a foul on Rylan Jones. And a sloppy start for Utah State.
Yeah, turnover's a big key in this game. Got a little bit of a small, maybe nick injury.
Hunter Maldonado collided with Rylan Jones, who was whistled for the blocking foul. And everybody inside Arena Auditorium wearing brown and gold with a collective deep breath as Maldonado limps back to the bench.
Here's the replay, kind of a loose ball, trying not to get a backcourt and hustle play, and you kind of see, looks like he tried to take a charge, and Maldonado just looks like he may have just got hit wrong. He's with the trainer now. Mountain West Player of the Week last week for the 3rd time, I believe, this season, and also was recognized as the National Player of the Week for the 1st time.
Noah Reynolds, true freshman from Peoria, Illinois, didn't play 2 nights ago in the Pokes road win at Fresno State. Is off the bench for Wyoming, and now Graham Ike's whistled for an offensive foul, and Jeff Linder can't believe it.
Yeah, I think he was so good at his fake that he lost him, that it seemed like he might have hooked him, but I think it was just a high-level move, probably a little bit even surprised. Well, okay, maybe got a little contact after he was kind of open, but referee is right. He made the call. Next play, as we used to say on the sideline.
That might be the 2nd foul on Graham Ike. And if Jeff Linder wasn't happy with the 1st one, he won't be happy with that one. 2 quick fouls on Wyoming's leading scorer 3.5 minutes into the game.
I don't. The coach in me is coming out now. Here's a look at it, but okay. I mean, here's what we always talk about. Does it affect the play? I mean, you can give the young man a warning. This is high level, 2 NCAA tournament caliber teams. We want to let these teams play it out and have the best players on the floor. I mean, give a warning, let them continue to play, but part of the game.
Horvath now has all 7 for Utah State as the Aggies grab a 1-point lead. Bridget Howard has more on Hunter Maldonado, who's nursing an injury near the Wyoming bench.
Hunter Maldonado, after that collision there with Rylan Jones, was grabbing his ankle a bit, and when he came off the court, he was not able to put much pressure on it. Since then, the training staff has taken him up into the tunnel, and they're checking him out.
So no Ike, no Maldonado on the floor. Where will the Pokes go for scoring? Horvath down the lane, blocking foul. And now Jeff Linder has been teed up. That's been an interesting start from Laramie. We'll step aside. Well, Wyoming head coach Jeff Linder given 2 technical fouls during the last timeout, and his night is over.
Yeah, you just hate to see it again. You have 2 of the best teams in the league. Wyoming's obviously getting a lot of national attention, right outside the top 25. Referees have a hard job. We all know that. So no one's to blame in this, but you'd like to see them try to find a way to make this work. You want to see the best coaches, the best players all on the floor in a matchup like this. So unfortunate circumstances, unfortunate situation, but the game must go on. It is next man up mentality. Coach Ken DeWeese will take over as the head coach for the Pokes, and they will look to rally without their 2 best players on the floor. And this is what college basketball, this is all a part of it. You know, we have COVID cancellations going on, we have rescheduling going on. Adapting and adjusting is a big part of college basketball.
And this crowd all of a sudden has become very rowdy inside Arena Auditorium. Linder tossed. It all started with the 2 questionable foul calls on Graham Ike.
Yeah, started on the offensive end. I mean, makes a great spin move, gives a little extra maybe contact, but again, I mean, this is a high-level basketball league, not usually a call that's made. It was made and then coming right back down, just makes a little physical contact, holds his ground, and they give him a 2nd one, and Linder not too happy about that. And a little surprised that they didn't let him cool off during the timeout. I'm surprised that they went to toss him during the timeout as he's still coaching his team and may have made a comment or 2. But anyway, the game must go on, and here we are with the possession for the Aggies.
Utah State able to knock down 3 of the 4 technical foul shots. Now Ashworth open, and he buries the triple.
So the whole thing with Utah State, I mean, their run, in this run, 10 threes is the magic number. If they've gotten 10 threes or more, they have won almost every game when they have done that. Great finish by the rookie, Reynolds, taking a page out of Maldonado's book.
First points for the true freshman. Now Idle Rock gets caught underneath. Horvath from straight on, and that's good. So Utah State, picking up where they left off, shot 64% 3 nights ago, hung 90 on UNLV and Logan. The 64%, their best field goal percentage in a game in more than a decade. Hunter Thompson, a big response for Wyoming.
Yes, it's becoming a shootout. This pace is definitely Utah State's pace. They want to play fast. They want to shoot a lot of threes. Again, 10 threes is the magic number when they can get to 10. They're averaging 21.5 assists during their 5-game winning streak, and it looks like an offensive foul on an illegal screen off the ball.
Well, an offensive foul against Utah State. Already the Aggies' 4th turnover. As you see, Hunter Thompson attempted 7 triples 2 nights ago in the 2-point win at Fresno State, and knocks down his first attempt off the Cowboy bench. Drake Jeffries, a right-hand teardrop, settles in.
Great take. You don't see a lot of him putting it on the bounce. Normally he's catching, shooting from 3, but great take, had a height advantage. Nice floater off 2 feet in the paint for Jeffries.
Ashworth stops and starts. Justin Bean off balanced, and Jeffries clears it away. And good news for the Cowboys. Yes. Hunter Maldonado to the scorer's table.
To the scorer's table. He's a warrior, not surprised at all. And this Wyoming team has really rallied so far. And high-level basketball team. Again, next man up mentality, and they played well in the absence of their coach and 2 best players.
That's deflected and taken away by Justin Bean.
A little surprised. Reynolds has had some great attacks. He's just been a little too unselfish. He's had a layup early in the game, got a turnover, had a layup that time, I thought, as well. Kind of a big game for the rookie to play in, but showed some good moments.
Ashworth all the way, and a right-hand layup off the window and in.
Yeah, both Utah State's guards, Ashworth and Jones, threats from 3, really crafty in the paint, kind of makes some degree of difficulty shots like that one you saw. They're not just a team that relies on the 3, and both those guards are tough and scrappy and not afraid to attack the paint.
7 early points for the sophomore out of Alpine, Utah, Stephen Ashworth, as Reynolds misfires. Here comes Justin Bean for Utah State. Offensive foul.
Championship play. Again, the freshman did a good job staying in there. The pass, normally people like to take a charge on a shot. He did a great job of staying in there, holding his ground, and taking it on the pass, and taking away a wide open 3 for the Aggies. Nice minutes from the freshman Reynolds.
So Idle Rock heads to the bench. Z Hamoda, a true freshman from Bahrain, the first Division I player from Bahrain in the Middle East. We'll see some early minutes for Utah State. Xavier DeSalle, first attempt, knocks down the triple.
Oh, this place is starting to get loud and rowdy. They are rallying in this situation. You'd love to see the home crowd showing up. Big time shot by Xavier DeSalle. He's always a threat from 3.
Ashworth lets it fly and silences the Cowboy faithful. Into double figures already. Ashworth has 10.
Yeah, even put the finger in front of his mouth to actually really silence the crowd. So got a competitive, tough game here. Guys like him love to play on the road, and guys like Maldonado love to play anywhere.
That ankle looks all right. Hunter Maldonado, the reigning Mountain West and National Player of the Week, has hit a couple field goals. And now Utah State gives it right back to Wyoming, a 6th Aggie turnover in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, great job. It's kind of one of those things that's tough to figure out. Do you double Maldonado, do you not? Xavier got the big grin on his face, letting it fly. It's great to see him back making the 3s, because we know he's a big threat. Averaged 12 a game for for Wyoming already. We know he can score. He's coming off an injury, so great to see him getting the long-range shot to go down.
Offensive foul, Xavier DeSalle. We'll give it back to Utah State when we return. Well, no surprise that we've seen a lot of points in the early going. Both of these teams top 25 in the country in field goal percentage. Aggies by 3. Brown and Gold Outlet, the official apparel partner of the University of Wyoming. Shop in store or online at brownandgold.com. Hunter Maldonado, 7 points. And Wyoming within 2. Ashworth, the perfect 4 for 4 from the field, as is Brandon Horvath. And that popped up into the air, taken away by Brendan Wenzel. Another Utah State turnover. Maldonado, baseline, feeds Wenzel, and he couldn't handle it.
Great pass, might have got deflected at the last minute.
Horvath crushes it through.
Transition, not a lot of Wyoming transition points usually given up, but Utah State again loves to push the pace. They want to play fast, points off of turnovers there. What could have been a layup on one end ended up being a dunk on the other.
Inside of 10 minutes first half, Utah State winners of 5 in a row, trying to hand Wyoming their first loss at home. Brendan Wenzel splashes in the straight-on triple.
Big shot, big shot. Yeah, they push it right back, and championship plays by Wyoming. Another charge taken. Utah State pushes the pace. Wenzel not only makes the 3, but showing he can defend as well. Sacrificed his body and gets the charge.
That's the second first half foul on Justin Bean. So now both teams have their leading scorer.
Yeah, leading scorer and leading
first
rebounder.
half foul trouble.
Yeah, leading scorer and leading rebounder. That's the 9th turnover now for Utah State. We talked about that being a huge key in this game. 2 teams that normally take care of it very well. Wyoming's defense has played very well as far as getting takeaways so far this evening.
Both teams north of 80% from the field to start this basketball game, and nothing in the point column for Justin Bean. Yet Utah State up 1. Maldonado gets the bounce.
He just makes it look easy, doesn't he? It's like, I don't know if I'm going left, right. You don't know how to stop guarding him, but he just finds a way. Wyoming back in the lead.
And this crowd is into it. Shulga picked up by Jeffries.
The crowd loved that one. He said, not in my house today. Jeffries showing off the bounce. I'm not just a shooter. I can also get it done on the defensive end. Here you see the replay, a little bit of contact, tries to lay it up anyway, and Jeffries throws it into the stands. Gets the crowd on their feet.
Leaves Utah State with 7 on the timer. RJ Idlerock. Horvath lets it fly and finally misses. He had opened 5 for his first 5, including a couple makes from above the arc. But the UMBC transfer misfires, and now Wyoming has a chance to build on this 1-point lead. Maldonado puts Shulga on skates. Wenzel. This place was about to erupt.
Yes, they were. They have really rallied behind Coach Linder's absence, supporting their head coach.
Zihamoto from the corner misses everything. Horvath grabs the rebound. First attempt, no. Now gets fouled, and he will shoot 2 free throws when we return. How about the tempo to open things up in Laramie? Wyoming up 1 at home over Utah State. Another big crowd on hand to watch the Wyoming Cowboys. Already 5 lead changes in the early going. Cowboys up a point over visiting Utah State. As you take a look at the team comparison, in a year where the Mountain West has some of the top defensive teams in the country, these 2 teams know how to fill it up.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And even though they're 5th and 6th defensively, because there are those outlier elite defensive teams in the country, these teams don't probably get the credit for the defense that they play. But you can tell how evenly matched they are by the first match. First game, they were exactly tied with 25 seconds to go. It's on pace to be the same type of night tonight. You can see why both teams are making a case of why they should be in the NCAA tournament.
Brandon Horvath, a couple free throws out of the break. Tonight playing in his 138th college basketball game. Ridley's Family Market, save time, shop online, now offering home delivery. The official grocery store of the Wyoming Cowboys. Horvath's been playing some of his best basketball of late at 17, 9, and 5 against UNLV, but misses both free throws out of the timeout.
Utah State likes to show a little bit of soft pressure after a free throw, kind of picking up full court. Let's see what the Pokes look to do offensively. I would imagine Maldonado is going to get it in the post, and they're going to play from there.
DeSalle. It wiggles out. Here comes Rylan Jones. Horvath to the cup, two-hand flush.
Just playing with so much pace. You don't normally, one thing Linder does talk about, they don't shoot a lot of threes off the dribble. DeSalle kind of with an uncharacteristic possession that last time with several dribbles and then a pull-up three leading to a transition dunk for the Aggies.
Horvath with a game-high 14. Our 6th lead change already. Jeffries blocked. Hamoda got a piece of it. Drake Jeffries, one of the better three-point shooters in college basketball. 46% above the arc. That's 5th best in the country. Ashworth rejected by Jeremiah Oden. And now a foul on Utah State.
Yeah, Ashworth wanted to attack the mismatch. He had Hunter on him, was playing at the 5. Was able to attack it, but J.O. said, again, not in my house. First it was Jeffries with the block. This time J.O. picks up the block, and then Hunter able to secure the rebound and draw the foul. Now they are in the bonus. So already in the bonus, shooting on any foul for the rest of the way. Both teams are.
Hunter Thompson, just 7 free throw attempts this season. And earns himself a second. And he was a guy that started 18 games a season ago. A super senior from Pine Bluffs here in Wyoming, about 90 miles east of Laramie. And it just shows the improvement that this program made from year 1 to year 2 under Jeff Linder to be able to bring a guy like him off the bench.
Yep, absolutely. I can remember back when I was coaching at UTEP, Wyoming came and played in the Haskins Classic, and I think he had a game there where he made maybe 7 threes. So he's been through the battles, been through the wars, and Coach Linder talked about the luxury of being able to have starters coming off the bench. Now Xavier DeSalle was a starter. Now he comes off the bench as well. This team continues to get deeper as the season goes on.
Idle Rock misfires in the mid-range. And a rebound for Hunter Maldonado, his first of the night. Hunter Maldonado, Graham Ike make up the best scoring duo in the country. And Maldonado, such a high IQ basketball player. When he sees that bonus light turn on, it's almost automatic for him getting to the foul line.
Yeah, I think between him and along with Ike, they're 2 of the best in the country. Ike is actually rated #1 in drawing fouls, but Maldonado, I think, is drawing about 6 free throws a game he's normally shooting.
Into double figures with 10 early points. As you take a look at the scoring output from Hunter Maldonado and Graham Ike. 2 of the top 3 scorers in the Mountain West. Of course, no shame in being behind Bryce Hamilton, who's putting together a monster year for UNLV.
Yeah, to have 2 guys doing it on the same team makes it really difficult to guard. And the one part people forget about Maldonado, not only does he score, but he leads the conference in assists.
More than 6 assists per game. Wyoming will put Utah State at the foul line to shoot the 1-and-1. The 8th team foul on the Pokes.
The one thing they talk about at the next level, NBA, they talk about shot creation. He is a guy that not only creates shots for himself, but those 20 points a game you saw, but every assist that he gets is more created baskets for his teammates.
RJ Idlerock, senior from London, 70% clip at the foul line. Was UMBC's leading scorer last season, averaged more than 14 a game. That's what he's done this season. His first at Utah State. And this game is tied again. Wyoming has to be pleased with shooting almost 70% from the field, having Graham Ike sidelined much of this first half, as Maldonado can't get the teardrop to go. Z Hamoda down the lane, reverse, off the glass and in.
That is where probably they're going to continue to look to attack in transition and try to attack Thompson off the bounce. You see they went small earlier in the game. Let's see if the Pokes look to go back small to be able to match up better with this fast and quick Aggies team.
Jeffries splashes in the triple.
Love that guard-to-guard ball screen. Maldonado, Jeffries, they run that quite often. Puts a lot of pressure on you to make a decision. Do you stay with Maldonado or do you stay with Jeffries? If you make the wrong move, they normally make you pay like they did right there.
Wyoming's fourth first half three. Zamoda, it's good. 5 straight Aggie points for the true Frosh, Z Hamoda.
Yeah, another 3 for the Aggies. They're up to 5 now. Again, 10 is kind of their magic number. Normally for for Wyoming, they normally don't allow teams to shoot very well from 3. So far, they've been able to get 5. 5 of 8 are the Aggies in the first half from 3 tonight. Here's that replay of kind of their making that decision. You get there a little bit late, you see the bench celebrating, and then right here, Maldonado goes under the ball screen. Aggies able to make him pay.
Both teams average more than 8 makes per game from above the arc. You mentioned Utah State during this 5-game winning streak. In 4 of them, they have knocked down at least 10. Wyoming has been one of the better 3-point defenses in the country, holding teams in the mid-20s. Z Hamoda has now scored 7 in a row for Utah State.
I don't think that was a part of the scouting report, and that's the part you love about college basketball. You never know who may be a factor to step up, and especially doing it on the road. You got to give him credit and tip your hat. He's made some tough shots here tonight. Valuable
bench minutes from the true freshman as Reynolds tried to muscle it up, couldn't get it. Utah State up 4 in Laramie. These two teams met last month in a thriller that came down to the wire, a 2-point Wyoming win. Shulga draws contact, no whistle, defended by Odin, gets it back. Wenzel and Shulga tangled up.
Getting physical out there. You love to see the competition. Looks like it is a media timeout. Looks like we have foul shots from the Aggies when we return.
Utah State up 4, late stages of the opening half. Both Utah State and Wyoming shooting near 60% here in the final stretch of the opening half. The Aggies, winners of 5 straight, have a 4-point lead and a couple free throws coming. Last 5 games, they've shot near 40% from above the arc. Mentioned Wyoming's 3-point defense. They've been holding teams below 30% from the 3-point line this season.
Yes, they have. Wyoming has held its opponents under 10 threes 20 times this season, and 42 times of the 47 Coach Linder has coached. So that number 10 is a big number. Obviously, again, Wyoming, one of the best defensive teams in defending the 3. Utah State, one of the best at making threes. It is a battle of wills to see what that 3-point line does tonight to affect the outcome.
Max Shulga was fouled on the floor prior to the timeout. Sophomore from Ukraine shoots 75% at the foul line and misfires on the front end. Justin Bean back on the floor for Utah State, playing with the 2 first-half fouls. Graham Ike with 2 first-half fouls, still on the Wyoming bench, and now Utah State's dropped into a zone defense for the first time
showing
tonight.
A little bit of zone. They did this once as well up there in Logan, but the foul, not what they were looking for, trying to cause some confusion. Instead, they pick up a foul for Maldonado back at the line, a place he's pretty comfortable.
Wyoming just 4 for 8 at the foul line this first half. Trevin Dorius picks up the personal, heads back to the Utah State bench. Brandon Horvath is back for Utah State. He has a game-high 14 points. Hunter Maldonado, 11 first-half points to lead Wyoming. And a second free throw coming.
Give Coach credit. Give credit to Coach Ken DeWeese and the staff. Sundance Wicks, Coach V, they've done such a great job keeping this team calm, cool, collected at home. Now they're down 2 to the Aggies.
A baker's dozen in the first half for Hunter Maldonado. And the Utah State lead is 2. Z Hamoda, 7 points off the Aggie bench. Rylan Jones has it poked away and stolen. Taken right back by Hamoda. Shot clock does not reset. Horvath backs down the much smaller Wenzel. Twirls and missed it.
Nice defensive possession. Almost got a steal, Maldonado did. Wasn't able to come up with it, but the team rallied and was able to wall up there by Wenzel against a bigger offensive player. Again, this team is a very good defensive team. Able to come up with the stop there.
Maldonado fades, fires, misses.
Little Dirk Nowitzki tribute right there. I like that. Hadn't seen that in his bag of tricks yet. Wasn't able to go down. 2 minutes left until we go into halftime.
Justin Bean scoreless tonight. Lets it fly with a hand in his face. And Jeremiah Oden clears it away for Wyoming.
Look to see something with a clear out with Maldonado or a play with Maldonado and Jeffries in a ball screen to be able to make them have to make that decision on who they will stop and who they will guard. It looks like a foul off the ball, setting the screen. Looks like Wenzel will be shooting 2.
Z Hamoda handed the citation. The 10th foul on Utah State has Wyoming in the double bonus. And the former Utah Ute, Brendan Wenzel, get 2 free throws and a chance to tie it. Wenzel, a guy that Wyoming brought off the bench the first half of the season, but now his 9th straight start, and he's been a valuable weapon for Jeff Linder and company. At a dozen, hit a team-high 3 triples a couple nights ago in Wyoming's big win at Fresno State. As the second free throw horseshoes off the rim.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. Gives them another shooter on the floor, gives them some more size, done a really good job defensively, and Linder's been extremely impressed with his ability to not only defend and play with an IQ, but to take charges. He's second behind Maldo on the team in taking charges.
Another first half rebound for Drake Jeffries. And as good as he's been at shooting the 3-ball this season, he's one of Wyoming's best rebounders as he grabs his 7th board of the first half.
Yeah, he's a really, really high-level athlete. His junior college coach, Coach Hank Polona, talked about when he recruited him to junior college at Indian Hills, how that was one of the things he loved about him, his ability to shoot and his ability to rebound.
Well, Hamoda gets his hand on another Wyoming shot attempt. And he scores off the window. Z Hamoda is keeping Utah State punch for punch with Wyoming. 9 points off the bench, and now commits his second foul, putting Hunter Maldonado back at the stripe.
Yeah, just a veteran move right there. Didn't want to take his time. He pushed the possession a little bit, able to draw the foul. Now there's an 18 differential between the shot clock and the game clock. So Wyoming should get one more offensive possession before the half. Heady and smart play again by the super senior Maldonado.
These will be free throw attempts 7 and 8 for the senior Maldonado, who dropped a career best 35 on rival Colorado State last week. There were 2 court storms.
Yes, there were.
Here inside Arena Auditorium after the Colorado State overtime win, and then after snapping Boise State's 14-game winning streak a few days later.
Yes, there were, and I'm sure the fans are ready to do another one. They may be even more aggressive after the referees kind of got this game started in a different way than the fans expected.
Bounce pass from Rylan Jones to Brendan Horvath, and that'll silence the crowd as just a half a second separates the shot clock from game clock. Utah State, a 4-point lead in the final moments of the first half at Wyoming. These are the two hottest teams in the Mountain West. Aggies have won 5 straight. Cowboys, winners of 4 straight and 10 of 11. Maldonado terminated his dribble. Noah Reynolds late in the clock. Jeremiah Oden missed everything. And the first half comes to an end. Utah State, a 4-point lead at the break.
Yeah, we knew they were going to come in ready to play. Again, anytime you lose at home to a team at the buzzer, you have nothing but that game circled on your calendar. They've been playing some of their best basketball, and they've been on fire here tonight from 3. 5 of 10. They've really played well so far.
Bridget Howard is with Utah State head coach Ryan Odom.
Coach, Brandon Horvath with 16 points in that first half. What were you seeing from the Wyoming defense that allowed him to be so effective?
Yeah, I mean, I think Brandon got free. He got off to a good start, obviously. Made a couple of shots in and around the rim, and then got that timely 3 in the corner. The ball was moving. His teammates were finding him. Obviously, a little bit of a disjointed game. A lot of the good players right now. Ike's got foul trouble. Bean's got foul trouble. Ashworth, Jones. I mean, it's kind of an interesting battle right now. Both teams just trying to make it through to halftime.
Offensively, you said earlier this week that ball movement was going to be key. You guys were able to shoot 50% from behind the arc. What did you like from behind the arc from your group?
Yeah, I mean, I think the guys are shot ready. We've had some guys knock some in for sure. The biggest thing for us is defensively, we got to do a lot better. I mean, we fouled pretty much every possession down the stretch here, and they lived at the free throw line. We got to keep them off the line. We know Ike's coming back in the game, obviously in that second half, and he had a good start to the game and got them going. So we've got to be ready to deal with that.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thanks.
All right, thanks, Bridget. Utah State trying to win a 6th in a row and add a big win to the resume. The Aggies up 4 after 20 minutes of hoop inside the Dome of Doom over the Wyoming Cowboys. At the break in Laramie, Utah State seeking a 6th straight victory. Up 4 over Wyoming at the break. Here's your first half highlights and statistics presented by your Rocky Mountain Ford dealers. And in our first half, where Justin Bean was held scoreless for Utah State, Brandon Horvath picked up the load for the Aggies.
Yeah, he did. And this was an offensive first half. I mean, both teams shooting 55%. You see Ike was able to really get established early before the fouls that kind of led to the early fireworks. Utah State able to get some threes going early. Wyoming able to match 4 threes for Wyoming, 5 for Utah State. And probably the unsung hero off the bench, the freshman came in and really did his thing, unexpectedly so. Then started with a 3 in the corner for Horvath. Able to run the floor. They did a great job in transition, pushing the pace, able to get a quick turn over the shoulder in the post, showing its inside game. And Hunter Maldonado had an early injury. He left the game, but man, was he so good in the first half.
Maldonado helped Wyoming stay in it with 14 points. Obviously, the Cowboys have to like their chances within striking distance, and hopefully a lot more of Graham Ike in the second half. Maldonado doing what he does best, packing a scoring punch, rebounding, facilitating. Look at the numbers. Both teams north of 50% from the field. 5 threes for Utah State, 4 threes for Wyoming. Cowboys got to the foul line 14 times that first half, but they missed 6 of them.
Yeah, they did, and didn't do a great job on the glass either. With Ike being out, they had to play small ball quite a bit. That was effective for them. Hopefully they're able to turn that around this half.
Pokes trail by 4 at the break. We'll start the second half on the other side.
Wyoming basketball on the Mountain West Network is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Wyoming, Rocky Mountain Ford Dealers, Ridley's Family Markets, Uniwyo Credit Union, and Union Wireless.
40-36, Utah State A halftime lead over host Wyoming inside Arena Auditorium. It's time to go inside the play, presented by Union Wireless.
Yeah, one of the 4 threes this half. You can see here, Jeffrey's looking to go set the screen. Go ahead and play it. Maldonado dribbles over like he's setting the screen. He slips the screen and doesn't set it, and able to get the wide open 3 on the wing.
One of 3 first half assists for Hunter Maldonado, who averages more than 6 a game. Wyoming, after out-rebounding one of the better rebounding teams in this conference at Fresno State, the Cowboys were plus 18 on the glass 2 nights ago. Utah State finished plus 7 on the glass in the first half.
Yeah, big reason why. No Graham Ike. Graham Ike's back on the floor. It'll be a different half. Hopefully, a much cleaner half so both Justin Bean and Graham Ike can stay on the floor.
Wyoming, the first possession out of the locker room. Ike only played 4 minutes that first half. Off-balance shot, missed it short. And Ashworth collects the miss. See if Justin Bean can get going early in this second half. Idle Rock, corner 3. Hard off the heel. Bean taps it out. The second effort for the Aggies. Horvath, the game-high 16. Idle Rock will try the other corner, and he knocks down the triple.
Yeah, just kind of a strange matchup there. Ike kind of got stuck on a guard for multiple possessions, and you can tell he's just a little tentative, doesn't want to get that foul. He sat most of the first half. Again, you just, as a coach, you hate to see when you're not able to just play the game with your best players on the floor, because when they're on the floor, he does things like that.
6 points for Graham Ike. Wyoming trails by 5. Cowboys a perfect 10-0 at home this season. Horvath, the right-hand flip, settles in.
Horvath's really been playing well. I mean, again, doing it outside, doing it inside. You don't necessarily know the number, 34-4. You might think he's Justin Bean the way he's played. He's played really well this half and first half as well.
Ike threw it away.
Again, kind of that hesitance again. Just hasn't really played very many minutes, trying to get back in the groove of the game. And there you see Justin Bean getting in his groove with the off the dribble 3 pull-up.
And in the blink of an eye, Utah State has built its largest lead of the night, up double figures. Maldonado skips it mid-post. Ike spins and caught Bean in the air.
And see, that's the frustrating part a little bit, is that's almost the exact same play that he picked up the initial offensive foul, that quick spin.
That foul will go against Trevin Dorius, as you see Horvath hit his 8th field goal of the night. And then Justin Bean, he's a good 3-point shooter, knocked down 5 of them 3 nights ago in the big win over UNLV.
Yeah, Utah State does a great job setting kind of some drag ball screens and quick ball screens in transition. Winslow went under, unfortunately, and Bean able to make him pay. Bean shooting over 50% from 3 on the year.
His numbers are ridiculous. North of 50% from the field and from above the arc. Better than 80% at the foul line. 15 double-doubles this season. Let's check in with the third member of our broadcast crew, Bridget Howard.
Coming out of the half, acting head coach Ken DeWeese told me we have got to be better guarding the 3 ball. The Aggies shot 50% from behind the arc. They hit 5 threes in that first half. So he said our team really needs to be better at guarding that and be better in transition. And those are 2 things that head coach Jeff Linder told me earlier this week heading into this game that were going to be big keys for this game.
The officials missed what should have been a backcourt violation on Utah State. And Wyoming fortunate, nothing comes of it.
Got the crowd engaged, that's for sure.
Well, they got him engaged very early on when Jeff Linder, the Wyoming head coach, was ejected a little more than 4 minutes into the opening half. Graham Ike, just a sophomore, but has the IQ of a senior with how well he can get to the foul line.
Yeah, real quick,
here's the miss.
Here's that over back, pretty obvious, not even really close. He had neon shoes on just in case the referees couldn't see, but they still couldn't for whatever reason. But just real quick on this last thing on Coach Linder, and it would be the same if it was another coach, but obviously this team is bordering top 25. They're in first place. Graham Ike picks up 2 fouls within 15 seconds. Naturally, Coach Linder gets his first tech, but you just would hope in most references, most instances like this, that the referees and anyone would allow the cooler heads to prevail. Maybe if it's later on in the game and he's still on it, but got to give a little bit of time for human reaction and competitive nature. But speaking of competitive, this Wyoming team is back in the game, down 6 now, and the crowd is on their feet.
Graham Ike reaches double figures, and he's played just 6 minutes tonight. Ashworth, 10 points in the first half. Bean slips and falls, whistled for traveling.
Crowd rallying behind this team. You can see the bench doing their little dances, getting going over there, and this team has been able to string together some stops. Utah State looking to pick up full court, as they like to do on certain dead balls or after free throws.
Inbound comes the way of Ike, and he'll run a little point forward for Wyoming.
Maybe even point center is probably more likely.
Yeah.
He did say he liked looking up to Shaq, and Shaq loved to do this in the All-Star games.
Just backs his way from coast to coast. And he scores. Graham Ike, 6 in a row. Wyoming within 4.
That is, as Mark Jackson would say, dear mama, there goes that man. Crowd is on their feet. Can barely hear ourselves over here on the set.
That's a reach-in foul on Hunter Maldonado, his first of the night. Utah State, led by 4 at the break, quickly built the lead to double figures before the Pokes behind Graham Ike ripped off 6 straight.
Not quite coast to coast, but he brought it from coast to coast. Backed him down. Again, crowd on their feet. Great environment here in Laramie.
Hamoda missed everything. Bean's putback won't go. A 3rd chance and now a tie-up. Possession arrow gives it back. Or rather, will keep it with Utah State.
Love to see tight huddles from both teams. Both teams, again, tournament caliber teams. Whoever's listening and watching and has a committee vote, whatever they need to do, we need more teams from this league in the NCAA tournament. You can see why this league is competitive as any league in the country this particular year especially.
Noah Reynolds back on the floor for Wyoming. 6 Mountain West teams in the top 60 of the net rankings. And an inadvertent whistle. I think the shot clock reset to 20, but it should not have for Utah State. Aggies without Sean Bairstow, one of their better players. As you look at the Mountain West in the net, 6 teams in the top 56.
Yeah, and Utah State's probably one that's higher than most people would think. They're not as high in the Mountain West standings, but they did such a good job in the preseason part of the year. But again, to have this many teams in the top of the net, for those that don't know, is the ranking system that says kind of your strength of schedule and your performance to this point. And you can see with this many teams, there's a lot of conversation. Joe Lunardi already has 4 teams picked to be in the tournament. Utah State looking to get in that conversation.
The net is what the NCAA tournament committee uses above any other metric, and it replaced RPI from a few years ago. RPI is still important, but the net carries more weight when you're talking about March Madness. Hamoda, corner 3. And Reynolds grabs the loose ball. And the officials may have just missed another over and back, and now they call Reynolds for a double dribble.
Media timeout, yeah, just gotta love what's going on here in Laramie, Wyoming.
We'll step aside and let you catch your breath. Utah State by 4. A game that has been played at a helter-skelter pace from the opening tap has Utah State up 4 over Wyoming inside a 16-minute second half. Perkins Restaurant, proud to sponsor the Cowboy basketball three-point tracker. If the Cowboys make 8 or more three-pointers in tonight's game, visit any Wyoming Perkins tonight or tomorrow for a free slice of pie with any purchase. Perkins, flavors you crave, classics you love. Jeff Linder has brought the excitement back to this Wyoming program. The Cowboys receiving the most votes out of any team outside of the top 25. And trying to keep it rolling against red-hot Utah State. The Aggies, winners of 5 straight. Hamoda, wide right. Ike plucks the rebound off the iron for Wyoming.
Yeah, speaking of top 25, Colorado State has been in the top 25 for a good majority of this season. Wyoming able to get the close overtime win against Colorado State just a week ago.
Ike picked up by Horvath, now draws 2 defenders, finds an open Jeffries. And saved in by Ashworth. Nice play made by Stephen Ashworth, the sophomore. Idlerock into the paint, right-hand layup, deflected by Jeffries. Another rebound for the former Division II star at Minot State. What a journey it's been for Drake Jeffries, now one of the best three-point shooters at the Division I level.
Yeah, talking to a buddy of mine just the other day about him specifically, he said a lot of people get labeled snipers in college basketball if they can shoot a little bit. He's a real sniper. He can make threes at a high degree of difficulty. I think he leads the Mountain West in three-pointers made per game, Jeffries does. A little surprising they doubled off of him that last time. Rotation a little late, he got a clean look. Not sure he was expecting that one.
Late in the clock, that's an offensive foul. Hunter Maldonado takes the charge.
So good, and everyone talks about his scoring. Everyone talks about, then they talk about his assists, but Hunter Maldonado might take on average 2 to 3 charges per game. Last game he played all 40 minutes at Fresno. He is an Iron Man. We saw him get a little Nick injury earlier in the game. Didn't know if he's coming back. What a warrior for Wyoming, and no wonder why this team is at the top of the standings, him leading the way.
Utah State, all of a sudden, they haven't scored in more than 4 minutes. Ike, hard off the heel. Justin Bean collects his 7th rebound of the night. RJ Idlerock buries the triple.
You see that quick handoff. It's happened so fast. They play with such a pace that defender gets caught going under. Great ability to be able to connect.
Second tray for Idlerock in the 8th for Utah State. Maldonado fouled. Justin Bean can't believe it. He picks up his 3rd. Attempts 9 and 10 from the foul line tonight for Hunter Maldonado.
High scoring game, both teams shooting 50% from the field.
Yesterday became the first Mountain West player to win the weekly award 3 times in a season since Jalen Harris did it in the 1920 campaign, former Nevada guard. Ike the offensive rebound off the Maldonado miss as we check in with Bridget Howard.
Hunter Maldonado told me earlier today, he said, I know I'm one of the oldest people on the team. And you see him there come up big with the three-pointer. He is accustomed to making big-time plays. He said, I'm not a fresh pup anymore. These guys are looking to me to lead, and look at him leading now, guys.
Leading Wyoming with 18 points. And the Pokes back within a possession. Horvath straight on. Too strong. A 9th rebound for Jeffries. Now Maldonado backs in.
Nice
Ashworth.
pass.
Bounce pass, hesitation.
Nice pass.
And 2 more free throws for Wyoming. This time Ike will strut to the stripe.
Yeah, Coach Leonard talked about the connection with the guys on his team. He has a tight rotation. The guys have played so many minutes together. They just know where each other is on the floor. Even when it seems like they don't, Maldonado with a little bit of a no-look bounce pass to his big fella to be able to connect to draw the foul.
Graham Ike, 2 more free throws for the sophomore. University of Wyoming College of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Innovated since 1886. Learn more at uyo.edu/CEAS. See 7,220 feet. That's the elevation here in Laramie. The highest altitude in college basketball. As Ike splits the pair.
Free throws are normally a strength of Wyoming's. They have not been able to shoot it at their normal clip. Just 14 of 22. They've been able to get there. They just haven't been able to connect at their normal rate.
Yeah, north of 70% on the season. Ashworth is fouled. And finally, some free throws this second half for Utah State.
One part about this thing, too, is talking to Wyoming's strength coach before the game. He talked about they've had pretty much an NBA schedule. I think people forget the wear and tear, the emotional drain of last week playing 3 games, but they played Air Force just right before that, and now here they are, just played on Sunday, turn around and playing on 1 day in between plus travel. No wonder why some of those free throws may not be going down for the Pokes. Not that it's an excuse, but it's a different time in college basketball right now with as many games are being played, with the reschedules, cancellations, and what have you.
Yeah, for Utah State, their 6th game in 13 days. Wyoming, their 4th game the last 8 days. And with how strong this conference is this season, there are no soft spots in the schedule.
No, and those teams we showed in the net of those 4 games they've played, the teams that are in the top of the net.
Maldonado gets bailed out with 8 seconds on the shot clock. That's the 6th foul on Utah State. Max Shulga, the sophomore reserve from Ukraine, picks up his 2nd foul.
Bonus the rest of the way for Wyoming. That's a huge key with 12 minutes left. Graham Ike, #1 in the country in fouls drawn. You can see why.
This time Horvath gave him a little bit of space, and Wyoming has trimmed the Utah State lead to 2 again.
Again, so much credit to the staff rallying together. Sundance Wicks, Coach Kenny DeWeese, Coach Sean Vandiver doing a phenomenal job in Linder's absence.
Justin Bean misfires from the corner. Bean now 1 for 5 from the field. On the heels of 32 points against UNLV. He's been a presence on defense as he gets the takeaway. Jones, corner 3, wiggles out.
Got the look they were looking for. Utah State, again, loves to play in transition. Coach Odom loves for his team to be able to get the ball movement they want. Wyoming, on the other hand, Ike doesn't want ball movement this possession right away. Kicks it out after the double.
Maldonado and Ike very comfortable playing with their back to the basket. Jeremiah Oden, a blocking foul called.
Yeah, looks like he was in the restricted area.
Cowboys will have a chance to tie it with a couple free throws when we return. Another tight one in the Mountain West. Second half from Laramie. Utah State has not trailed this second half, up just 2 over Wyoming inside of 11 minutes. From inside Arena Auditorium, Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers, proud to sponsor the Freddy's Free Throw Freeze. If an opposing player misses 2 straight free throws after the 8-minute mark in the second half, head to Freddy's Laramie location anytime tomorrow for a free single topping sundae. Freddy's, the taste that brings you back. Well, for these fans, it's been the play of Wyoming that has brought them back. Over 7,000 in the building for Wyoming's victories over rival Colorado State and Boise State last week. Another good crowd on hand tonight. And that was the foul that occurred just before the last time out. Jeremiah Oden been quiet tonight. but a couple big free throws for the Pokes out of the break.
Yeah, J.O., great job on that possession of not settling for the three. They sprinted out to him. He drove the closeout in a straight line and was able to draw the foul. This young fella has really continued to develop and play really well for this Wyoming club.
This game is tied for a 4th time.
Chris, you having fun yet?
I'm getting there. 53s on the board. And Shulga, with Maldonado surging towards him, draws the foul on the floor. Just the 3rd this half against Wyoming.
Nice offensive action that time by Coach Oldham and his staff. Maldonado had to kind of help out inside because he was going to give up a layup, and then sprinted to close out and picked up the foul.
Ashworth,
Nice
right hand layup off the window and in.
Just a nice play, kind of a screen for the inbounder. Ashworth curled it, wasn't able to get a show, and got a wide open layup. Nice execution by the Aggies.
16 for the sophomore. Here comes Maldonado. Reynolds bobbles the pass. Cowboys will reset. Late in the clock, into the paint. And off the left side of the backboard, Ike has to hoist it up and ties the game.
Said it once, I say it again. Dear mama, there goes that man. Not only was that a degree of difficulty shot, but he continued to show off his touch. He's not just a guy that has to score back to the basket. He has a little bit of range, as you can see on that possession.
Inside of 10 minutes, Shulga muscles it up and scores.
Shulga, very good driver, has an ability to finish inside. Looked like Maldonado playing against Maldonado on that possession. Great finish there by Shulga.
First points for Shulga tonight. He had 10 off the bench against Wyoming last month in Logan. Ike against the double team, blocked by Bean. Loose ball ricochets to Shulga. Now the Aggies have a chance to build the lead. Horvath had a big first half, just 2 points since halftime.
Kind of called for a clear out here, looking to drive Ike, doesn't end up driving him. 10 on the shot clock.
Idlerock spins and misses.
Not a typical Utah State possession there. A lot of ball stoppage. Not exactly what Coach talked about with his ball movement. A little uncharacteristic there, and the Pokes able to get the stop.
Eight and a half minutes left to play in Laramie. The Cowboys have not led in the second half. Maldonado had a chance to do it, but Ashworth collects the rebound.
8 minutes left to go. So coaches talk about 4-minute games. There's 2 4-minute games left in this ball game.
Ashworth gets right by Ike, but misses the layup. And then Horvath, after the rebound, commits the foul. And that will put Wyoming at the foul stripe.
Yeah, we talked about how important that bonus was going to play in. They got into the bonus, Wyoming did, with 12 minutes to go. Great take, not able to finish. Great two-hand rebound by Maldonado. You hear coaches talk about it all the time. Secure the rebound with 2 hands. Coach Linder and his staff coach rebounding as much as they do anything else in this program, and Maldonado fully bought in, able to get rewarded for executing the 2-hand rebound there.
Maldonado 7 for 10 at the foul line tonight. A big 1-and-1 here for Wyoming. And he missed the front end. Ike chases down the second effort, and Jeffries gives Wyoming the lead.
Ow! From way downtown, that's exactly what this crowd wanted. Jeffries has been waiting for one of those to go down. That's the exact opportunity, and what an offensive rebound by Ike. Gotta love the extra effort. He got extra fuel in his tank from getting a little bit of extra rest in that first half.
Ryan Odom takes timeout. Wyoming, a second half lead. 7:57 to play. We're inside the Dome of Doom. On a night where these teams have traded the lead 11 times, 5 ties between Utah State and Wyoming, the Cowboys on a Drake Jeffries triple to have their first lead of the second half. Utah State, the longest active winning streak in the Mountain West, and they've dominated their last 5 games. The average margin of victory, 21 points.
21 points. They've shot 53% from the field. I think they're averaging 21.5 assists, 9 3-pointers made, I believe, per game. You just have to give this team credit. They really kind of dug themselves a hole, had some injuries early on, but they're really bought in the coach. They're sharing the ball. They're making threes. They're defending, and it's paying off in the W column.
We should mention again that Utah State is shorthanded tonight. Sean Bairstow, who had scored double figures 8 of the last 10 games, did not make the trip, dealing with a non-COVID illness. See what the Aggies drew up out of the Utah State timeout. Bean fades, fires, and fills it up.
Nice, very nice.
The 12th lead change.
Justin Bean, one of the most efficient scorers in the country. Does it inside, does it outside, does it a variety of ways, as we talked about in the Star Watch. You see a little bit of his post-up game there.
Poked out of bounds by Utah State. Wyoming will have it when we return. 7:35 to play up on the high plains of Laramie. Utah State up a point. Utah State 59, Wyoming 58, 7:35 to play. Bridget Howard, the third member of our crew. Let's check in with her.
Chris, coming out of halftime, I spoke with Ken DeWeese, and he told me that he told his group at the half, we need to have more energy. That was one of the reasons why head coach Jeff Linder was frustrated with his group early on in this one, is because he thought they came out flat. However, in this second half, they have come out with loads of energy. And when I looked at the Utah State huddle, head coach Ryan Odom was visibly frustrated with his group in the last time out, saying they want it more than you right now. We need to give more energy. This is your classic Mountain West battle here tonight, guys.
And these defenses have locked up much better in this second half after the teams combined for 76 points in the first 20 minutes. Jeremiah Oden late in the clock and whistled for the offensive foul.
Good call. Good call. Jeremiah trying to kind of come up with a way that he could score. Good job defensively by the Aggies, and great call by the ref.
Backing down R.J. Idlerock, who took the charge.
Yeah, Idlerock did a great job being solid. The refs have called that consistently all game. Like to see that kind of consistency when it comes to, if it's one way, it should be the other way. So they've done a great job on that.
Justin Bean finds an open Horvath, and he missed the 3. It rims out. Bean grabs the offensive board. Another second effort for Utah State. The Aggies are +8 on the glass tonight.
Just their 3rd offensive rebound. That was a man's rebound in traffic by Justin Bean, going up over the top to secure the rebound.
Bean, as the shot clock expires, misses, and Jeffries is fouled.
Again, every foul is 1 and 1. Still in the single bonus, but now you foul one of the best shooters on the floor. Trying to get that steal as he brought it down off the rebound.
So Drake Jeffries will shoot the 1 and 1. That's the 9th foul on Utah State. 8 points, 11 rebounds for Jeffries tonight. Much more than what you'd call a sniper.
Much more than just a sniper. And to be honest, what a great on-ball defender. He showed that last week against still first place Boise State by half a game over Wyoming. Good offensive player, good defensive player, and 11 rebounds, even more impressive than anything, because nobody probably expects that from him.
A whistle blown after the made free throws.
Double-double for Jeffries after that made free throw. 10 points, 11 rebounds. Those are the little things you have to do when your big man is out in the first half. Everybody kind of finding a way. That's part of what makes this team so good. Just figuring out how to find a way as the referee calls an offensive foul. on Justin Bean. I believe that's his 4th. Here it is on the replay. Kind of a collision on the handoff. Kind of sometimes teams often try to do that to sneak in an extra screen to get the offensive player open. That time he was not able to sneak it. He looks over at Ryan Odom and says, I'm good, I don't want to sub. And looks like Ryan Odom's gonna leave him in the game, trusting his veteran to stay in the game and not pick up another foul.
Wyoming has done a terrific job on Justin Bean tonight, just 5 points and now 4 fouls. Jeffries flashes the leather, baseline jumper, rips the cords.
One thing about a shooter, when you give him a chance to go to the free throw line, he starts feeling real good about his stroke. Big time shot there by Jeffries to not force the 3 and take the mid-range instead.
Wyoming's largest lead of the second half. Inside of 6 minutes. Justin Bean, foul line jumper.
Tough.
It's good.
Tough, and that's exactly why he said, Coach, leave me in the game. I want to help our team win this game. If I'm out of the game, I don't know exactly what I can do from the bench. So let me stay out here and not pick up a foul. Great conversion there by Justin Bean.
Maldonado against the much smaller Jones, draws 2 defenders. Jeremiah Odin, wide left. And Idle Rock secures the board. Utah State a chance to jump back in front with a made shot from the floor. Bean, baseline, reverse. 4 straight for Justin Bean. Aggies by a point.
Justin Bean, again, showing why he's such a tough competitor, why he's so good statistically in so many ways. Back-to-back buckets for number 34. Again, shooting over 50% from the field on the season.
That was last touched by Utah State. Horvath got a hand on it. Bean will sit. Trevin Dorius, who started in place of the ill Sean Bairstow, is back in the game. Likely only until the under 4. Ike gets the bounce.
What a tough shot. I mean, those are not layups. That is a skilled amount of touch from the big fella. Crowd on their feet looking for the Pokes to figure out a way if they can get a stop.
The best scoring duo in the country. They have combined for 38 points tonight. And a foul on Wyoming. The 5th on the Cowboys. And that's on Brendan Wenzel.
Ike, such a force inside. His face-up game, his back-to-the-basket game. Doing it again with the left with the soft touch. He did tell me before the game Tim Duncan was one of the guys he liked. I don't know if he's trying to show older Coach Odom that he's taking a page out of his former player book.
Ryan's father, of course, the longtime coach at Wake Forest. Coach the Hall of Famer Tim Duncan. It's been a teeter-totter second half, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. Great competitive game. Two teams that are, again, proving that they're the hottest 2 teams, winning 4 and 5 in a row. Both teams doing everything they can to get the win tonight.
Oh, that's a blocking foul. This play's so loud you couldn't even hear the whistle. And now Wyoming a foul away from putting Utah State in the bonus.
Yeah, great call. Wasn't able to be set. Did a good job on the ball. Maldonado just kind of fell a little bit before. He's so good at drawing them that time. Referees did not give him the benefit of the doubt.
Just the 2nd foul on Hunter Maldonado.
Both teams now in the bonus. Wyoming in the double bonus. So any foul from here on out, both teams will be shooting.
Bean is back in and gets whacked by Jeremiah Odin.
Yeah, coaches always talk about if you're going to foul him, don't give him an opportunity. You don't want to hurt him, but you don't want to give him an opportunity to get that and one. J.O. definitely did not give him an opportunity there. Good, strong take by Justin Bean.
Justin Bean, as tough as they come. When Utah State started this 5-game winning streak, he took an elbow to the eye and played the rest of that game at home against San Diego State with a black eye. Had a chance to speak with him yesterday and said it's feeling better. It obviously looks better. But he said receiving a black eye and having that for a couple of weeks was well worth it to get his team back to their winning ways.
No doubt about it. Leading the country in several statistical categories. He is 5th in double-doubles with 15, 9th in total rebounds. You can go on and on with this young man. Surprising to see him miss a free throw.
He ties the game at 64, and he will exit. No, he won't. He thought he was being lifted for Shulga. Instead, Ryland Jones to the Utah State bench, and we are tied again.
Last 4 minutes of the game. Last 4 minutes. This is winning time. Coaches all across the country tell their teams this is the time where it matters the most. Every single little thing. It matters all game, but especially now when it's winning time.
Ike against the double team put way too much on it. Great defense from Utah State. You better believe this crowd will play a factor down the stretch. Ashworth bounces, Bean lost it.
Loose ball, 50-50, gotta get on the floor.
And it's picked up by Xavier DeSalle.
Yeah, if you can remember up there in Logan, it came down the last 25 seconds. It was a tied ball game.
Jeremiah Oden misfires from the corner.
A little bit of a part of the strategy by Utah State to kind of dare him to have to make some of those shots. Has not been able to connect tonight. Unfortunately, normally a pretty solid three-point shooter.
Horvath spins, dumps it off. Justin Bean lays it in. Utah State by 2.
Yeah, we talked about that in the start watch. So good at moving without the ball. Don't think that was a pass, but came up in his hands from the extra effort by Justin Bean.
Wyoming has not scored in a couple minutes, and the Aggies have reclaimed the lead in Laramie. 2:41 to play in a teeter-totter second half from the High Plains. There have been 16 lead changes, 7 ties tonight. The first meeting came down to the final possession. Graham Ike's game winner with 3 seconds left gave Wyoming a 2-point win in Logan over Utah State. Here in Laramie tonight, the Aggies seeking a 6th straight victory, and perhaps more important than that, a chance to pick up a quad 1 win.
Yeah, they are they're as hot as anybody in this league. We've talked about that. They've won 5 in a row, but those quad 1 wins, again, kind of goes into that metric system of getting extra points for your net ranking. So here's your Jerry Palm bracketology. Wyoming projected 7 seed, Colorado State 8, Boise State projected 10th, San Diego State projected 10th as well, which Utah State not in that picture. So a quad 1 win would be huge for them to be able to get.
Wyoming fresh off a quad 1 win 2 nights ago in Fresno. Ike ties the game.
So tough to stop, so tough to stop. You don't want to double and leave shooters. They're in the double bonus, you don't want to foul. This game looks like every bit is going to come back down to the wire, just like it did up in Logan.
Well, this is a lot of fun, isn't it?
Yes, it is. This is what college basketball is all about.
Shulga bounces to Bean, and he crushes it through.
Coach Odom talks about he loves in his strategy for his guys to touch the paint and kick, drive and kick, drive and kick. Normally kicks out for 3. That time a dump down for Justin Bean for the dunk.
Justin Bean has come alive late. 14 points for Utah State's top scorer. Ike through an elbow, no whistle. Horvath clears it away.
Just try to step through, and probably great no call. You kind of wish they were calling it the no calls early in the game that kind of caused him to get the 2 fouls in the first half.
Utah State has hit their last 4 shots from the field. Up 2, 80 seconds left. Bean straight on, wide left. Horvath touched it last. It is reviewable inside of 2 minutes, and that is what Utah State is requesting.
Got a 3 from the hot hand from your leading scorer. Can't be mad about that. Great hustle on the glass. This gives them an extra timeout. Coaching staff loves that. Players get a little bit of extra rest.
Well, Oh, it was awfully close. Call on the floor is Wyoming basketball. And upon further review, it will stand.
Both teams able to sneak an extra timeout in. And playing those 4 games in 8 days, you'll take every little bit of rest that you can get down this stretch. 1 minute, 14 seconds left.
Utah State employs the full court pressure. They double EK. And now Maldonado will run the show for the Pokes. Final stages of the second half on a Tuesday night in the Mountain West. Graham Ike missed it.
That's his go-to shot. Utah State kind of showing a late double. Don't want to give him the same look every time. High degree of difficulty shot. That's his go-to shot. Not able to convert. Good stop for the Aggies.
Wyoming needs a stop. Horvath had the hot hand in the first half. Right hand shot, wiggled out.
Not a typical possession for them to go one-on-one like that.
And Ken DeWeese, the acting head coach, takes a timeout. Well, Wyoming, with big resume wins last week, got them back on the national map. Now just outside the top 25. Here's the resume as it stands for the Cowboys. They have the highest net ranking in the Mountain West, 4-2 against the top 60, 6-3 against quads 1 and 2, and on the road in the Mountain West. That might be the most impressive number, 4-1.
Yeah, definitely. Anytime you're a really good championship level team, you have to be able to win on the road, especially in a league like this where you can earn those high quality wins. But the quad 1 and quad 2, for those at home, those are those higher level teams, again, in the net ranking. There's a metric that's broken down in different ways, but similar to football's kind of BCS system, if you will, or bowl system. All those things matter when it comes to a resume and getting an at-large bid. We all know if you win the tournament, you get an automatic bid, but the at-large bids is what makes this conference what it is, being able to get more teams in at-large bids this year.
Big thanks to Teresa Kurtz at the Mountain West office down south in Colorado Springs, putting those numbers together. Wyoming trails by 2. They have the basketball. Where do they go?
Simple. One of the 2 in the highest scoring duo in the country. I mean, it's not rocket science. It doesn't have to be tricky. They've gone to EK back-to-back times, gotten great looks, the looks that you want. Just like Utah State's going to Justin Bean, I expect it to go to one of their leading scorers.
Utah State, a chance at a quad 1 win in Wyoming tonight. Aggies by 2. Wenzel straight on for the lead. Won't go. A foul on Utah State. Wyoming's in the double bonus, and the Pokes will have a chance to tie it with 16 seconds left.
Love to see that kind of trust from the big man and be able to kick it out to Wenzel. Wenzel laced it up right inside the rim, and big time effort again by EK to be able to get on the glass, give the extra effort, and they had to foul him because he's just giving that extra effort on the glass. Again, this is something that Linder and his staff coach daily. Rebounding, they coach rebounding as much as anything, and that rebound right there just paid off to put the big fella back at the line, down 1.
Biggest free throw of the night for Graham Ike. Only played 4 minutes in the first half. Tied again.
Nothing but net. Big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that is what that young man is doing right now.
Wyoming takes the timeout. Utah State can hold for the game's final shot. Wyoming has not lost a home game in more than a calendar year. Got to go back to February 6th, 2021. 11 straight for the Cowboys inside the friendly confines. Let's talk about Utah State with this final possession of regulation, if they'd like. Justin Bean, a very pedestrian first half, but he's come alive down the stretch.
Yeah, he has. I don't know that they're specifically going to go to him. They're probably going to try to get something with multiple actions so they have options, whether that's a 3, whether that's being able to get a curl for a drive. I don't expect it to be any kind of isolation. I believe it to be something that will have multiple options and letting their players make a read and whatever that may be. Remembering, too, they are in the bonus, so they should take the last shot of the half. We see a little gamesmanship from the coaching staff of Wyoming calling timeout to kind of come to their game plan.
So Wyoming took the first timeout. Now Utah State takes a timeout, and everybody inside Arena Auditorium on their feet.
Including us.
I mean, how could we sit down? 68's on the board, 16 seconds left. The two hottest teams in the Mountain West, and much like it did in Logan last month,
yes,
it will come down to the final possession of regulation.
Yeah, almost a mirror image game. It's 25 seconds up in Logan. This with Wyoming having the ball, now it's 16 seconds with Utah State having the ball. Wyoming's found a way to win. They found a way to win Monday. Last Monday against Colorado State in overtime. They found a way to win against Boise down the stretch. They've won at Washington down the stretch, won at Utah State, won at the buzzer against Air Force, at Air Force. So this team is familiar with clutch situations. They practice these things, and as is Utah State, you have two really well-coached teams, two NCAA tournament caliber teams. We've already talked about that. And this is what it's all about. It's not quite March yet, but it does feel like some madness tonight.
A month from the Mountain West tournament, this has all the feels of a postseason basketball game. Utah State will have a chance to win it.
Crowd on their feet.
9 ties, 16 lead changes tonight in Laramie. Horvath with 5. Spoon feeds Idle Rock. To the corner.
No
Shulga
time.
didn't get it off.
Did not get it off. What a big-time stop. And we talked about it. I thought they would do something that had multiple actions and make some reads. May have been too many reads on that one. Great job by Wyoming finding a way to get the stop when it mattered the most. And this crowd's going to rally behind the home team in overtime. So it's going to be 5 more minutes of great basketball, just like you signed up for.
68's on the board after 40 minutes between Utah State and Wyoming. Let's look at that final
Great job by Wenzel
possession.
stopping the ball. Great closeout late and just ran out of time. Shulga, not known to be a three-point shooter, don't know that he wanted to take that one. And again, great job showing that they have the grit and the toughness and the togetherness to be able to find a way to get a stop when you need it most. Those are those times in practice where your coach says you're not getting off the floor until we get a stop, and they found a way to get a stop right there.
Everybody in this arena on their feet for that final possession of regulation. And I'd imagine they'll be on their feet for the next 5 minutes of basketball as well.
Yeah, I had to take a seat for just a second.
Well, just 8 days ago, Wyoming went to the extra period against rival Colorado State and prevailed in the border war over the Rams. A couple close contests followed. The win here over Boise State held on for a 2-point win a couple nights ago in Fresno. And now this Cowboy team, their 6th game in 14 days. This Aggie team, their 6th game in 13 days. 5 more minutes.
Something to keep an eye on. Justin Bean, leading scorer for the Aggies with 4 fouls. Brennan Wenzel has 4 fouls for Wyoming, along with Xavier Dussel. If you love college basketball, you have to be nothing but excited about 5 more minutes of a game between two teams as evenly matched as these two. We said they were the hottest 2 teams. The fire continues, my man.
And Utah State will have the first possession of overtime. What do you suppose Jeff Linder's doing right now?
I don't know if that's appropriate for the air, but I would say he's probably watching the game very closely and intensely.
Sugar misfires. Remember, Justin Bean, who got going down the stretch for Utah State, is on the floor with 4 fouls. Xavier DeSalle down the lane, flips it up, missed it badly, and Horvath grabs the loose ball.
Nice designed offensive play to get the shooter running on the baseline. He chose to curl it, got into the paint, just not able to quite get the finish or even get it to get on the rim the way he wanted to, but nice play to start overtime.
Idle Rock has to get rid of it late in the clock.
Something about overtime that kind of happens very often is that whatever team can kind of settle into overtime first. A lot of nervous energy, a lot of jitters, a lot of desire to want to win the game, but it's really hard to kind of settle in. And speaking of settling in, the end one for Maldonado. So good at faking as if he's going to back you down and finding a way to slither past. As you can see, kind of gives a little shimmy, able to get some daylight, get around the corner and get the hoop and the harm.
A 20-piece tonight for the reigning National Player of the Week, Hunter Maldonado. And Wyoming strikes first in overtime. A 3-point lead for the Pokes.
30 free throw attempts tonight, 21 of 30 for Wyoming. Finding a way to continue to get to the line and put pressure on the Aggies. Defend.
Jones drives and kicks. Ashworth, corner 3, front rim. A 13th rebound for Drake Jeffries. 3 possessions, all empty for Utah State since the start of overtime. Ike catches the lob, and he's fouled.
So tough, so much trust between those two. I mean, Maldonado just got an and one. He could have easily felt like, let me back down Jones and get another one. He trusted his big man, throws it up, as you can see here on the replay, where only he can get it. Such great hands by the big man and able to draw the foul and just back at the line.
This place gets library quiet right before the Wyoming free throw attempts. This is the largest lead tonight for the Cowboys.
Impressive work at the line for the big man. 8 of 11, made the 2 huge ones in regulation to put this team in overtime. Able to split on that one, but still up 4. One thing to think about Wyoming's defense, we talked about the 10 threes being a huge key for Utah State. They made 5 in the first half, only 3 in the second half in overtime so far.
Rylan Jones gets Utah State on the board in overtime.
Nice take by Jones, unexpected bucket. Again, going back to those threes, their own Utah State, 8 of 25 from the 3. Wyoming's done a terrific job defending the 3 after the half.
Maldonado turns the corner, skips it to Ike, and he flips it in.
The highest scoring duo in the country doing what they do best is called getting buckets.
26 for Ike, 21 for Hunter Maldonado. Horvath lays it in. Big response from Utah State. It's a 2-point game again.
Big time pass right there by Jones. Great backdoor cut. Again, this Utah State team is good for a reason. They've won 5 in a row in a reason. They're so well coached, so tough and together. This game is going to come down to every last second playing a factor.
A team-high 20 for Horvath. Ike slips. Jones knocks it loose, and it is out of bounds. Well, arguing like a fumble at the bottom of the pile are the 2 teams, and it's ruled Utah State basketball, but inside of 2 minutes, they'll get a second, maybe third look at it.
Back-to-back heady plays by Jones. It can't go understated. He stayed many times when your guy cuts through, you cut with him. He did not cut through. He kind of peeked behind Graham Ike that time, able to hide, and then able to kind of come out from out of nowhere and deflect it and come up with the steal, or more or less the jump ball or decision having to be made.
A pivotal review inside of 2 minutes in a 2-point game. Jones and EK on the floor, then the ball kicked up. Looks like EK did touch it last.
50-50 plays. I mean, again, both teams putting everything they have on the line and try to figure out every possession matters. Every little detail matters. No matter what your fatigue may be, no matter how many days and how many games that Chris has read off time and time again that these teams have played, just finding a way to win. That's what it's all about right now.
Wyoming trailed by 4 at the half, outscored Utah State by 4 in the final 20 minutes to force 5 more inside Arena Auditorium. Let's check in with Bridget Howard.
Chris, this Utah State team in the last 5 games that they have played have beaten their opponents by 15 points. So overtime is a new subject for them, to say the least. But when I talked with Justin Bean earlier this week, he said our guys are a confident group right now. We know that nobody has won in this environment this year. We understand that, but we're not afraid of it. And let me tell you guys, from right down here, I know you guys can hear it, this crowd is on its feet and rocking.
They have made an impact down the stretch, no question about that. Call on the floor confirmed. Utah State has it down 2. Justin Bean scoreless in the overtime period.
Looking to get a little bit of a flare and some slip. Wasn't able to get it. Great switches by Wyoming.
Shulga spin cycle, floats it in.
Tough, tough shot. I don't even know if he made it on purpose or did the move on purpose, but great finish there. Degree of difficulty high, able to find a way to get it to go down.
And we are tied again. 70 seconds left. We'll see if that's enough for one of these teams. Maldonado.
Man, is he putting on a clinic with his post-up ability. Big time shot, big time play. Crowd on their feet. Utah State's done a great job executing. Let's see what they try to come up with on this possession.
23 for Maldonado. Horvath, baseline. Off the front rim, deflected. Jones has it.
Great job by Jones getting that 50-50 play.
And Jones lays it in.
Finish. Jones has played so well in overtime. Didn't hear much from him all game. He's hit the backdoor pass. He came up with the big steal. Now he comes up with not only the offensive rebound, but the scoop layup in traffic. Great job by number 15, finding a way to get this game tied back up with just under 20 seconds to go.
5 seconds separate the big clock from the small clock in Laramie. Maldonado draws 2. Jeffries, long range. Won't go. EK, the offensive rebound. The stick back. Here comes Ashworth. Down the lane to the rim. And Utah State called timeout. Couldn't hear it over this loud crowd inside Arena Auditorium. But Graham EK, a double-double, his 12th rebound, 28 points, and a Wyoming lead
and
with 6.2 left.
What's the crowd chanting right now? I think they're saying EK, EK. But what can you say about this big fella? I mean, again, big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. He got a huge offensive rebound, and he got fouled on in the regulation. None bigger than this play again to help seal the lead for this Wyoming team. Wenzel's in there, too. He knocks off 2 other players from Utah State to get the rebound. Again, just a special talent to be able to do what he does in the paint like he does. Great time out there by Utah State. 2-point game. I would imagine, again, they're going to call something quicker. They're going to do something quicker than they did last time. They only have 6 seconds. I would imagine this time that it will be in the hands of Ashworth to make the decision or make the play himself.
Wyoming got the big stop at the end of regulation to force overtime. Now a stop away from a 5th straight win. Ashworth with 4, dishes to the corner. Rylan Jones, floater won't go, and Wyoming wins it.
They find a way to do it again. How do they do it, Chris? On the defensive end. They got the big defensive stop in regulation to go to overtime, and then they get the big defensive stop in overtime to seal the victory. And Graham Ike on the other side of the offensive end had huge plays down the stretch. I mean, what a team effort. The Coach Linder's not able to coach the game. You see him in the hallway pumping his fists. And give credit to this staff for getting this team to be so poised. Give credit to this team. And this Wyoming Polk basketball team is for real, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to this crowd inside Arena Auditorium. Wyoming wins its 20th game. And another two-point thriller. The Cowboys take down Utah State. Bridget Howard is with Wyoming acting head coach Ken DeWeese.
I'm here with Ken DeWeese. Coach, you take down the hottest team in the conference, break their 5-game winning streak. How do you begin to describe what you just witnessed here in your first game as acting head coach?
Well, we have a really tough team, a really resilient team. We got a great coaching staff. We prepare for this every day. These guys know, like, we're the tougher team when we step on the court. And credit to Utah State, I mean, they got a heck of a team, but they just know that they're going to get it done when it matters.
Graham Ike, once again, coming up clutch for this group. He did it last time in the Spectrum. He does it again here. What do you have to say about his performance and how he's able to come up clutch in these moments?
It's just who he is. It's in his DNA. I mean, that's why he's one of the best players, if not the best player in this league. And we know that we can ride him, man. We can just get on his back, and he can take us between him and Maldo. But everybody had a huge piece of that. Everybody, their staff was great. I mean, that was fun.
You told me coming out of halftime you needed to see a little bit more energy from this group. You think they gave it to you there?
I think a little bit. We could have used some more. They made a few more winning plays than us, came up with some loose balls, some offensive rebounds that we would like to came up with. But, I mean, these guys just fought and just did what it took to win. Just found a way.
Thank you so much, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're waiting for Graham Ike, who again beats Utah State in the final seconds. The offensive rebound, the game winner tonight. He is standing by with our Bridget Howard.
I'm here with Graham Ike. Graham, nice to see you again.
Good to see you again.
Big-time players making big-time plays. That was you by definition here tonight. You did it in the Spectrum. You do it here again tonight. How were you able to do that and come up big?
You know, first of all, just a credit to my teammates and the coaching staff once again. They put me in the right positions to make the right plays, and, you know, just the toughness plays and the will to win. You know, that's just what it's about. So I just give a big credit to them, big shout out to them and the fans. You know, they stuck through it with us. You know, the first half, it was a little rough for us. I got out after playing 357, and then Coach, you know, he got ejected. So, you know, we just had to keep fighting through, stay together, and not go away from each other. That's really what it was, staying together.
You mentioned you weren't able to play in the first half for most of it due to foul trouble. I saw you come out of the tunnel. You totally had a glare in your eye there. How are you able to keep your mind right and be able to be ready to go in the second half?
You know, just like Coach Linder says, you got to control what you can control. And, you know, I just got to remember that at the end of the day and just try to stay centered. And my teammates help me stay centered, like Mondo, J.O., you know, the whole bench, everybody. You know, they just tell me to keep my head, you know, it's a full 20 minutes left. That's all. Just keep fighting.
Some big stops there by the defense to hold off this tough Utah State team. You break their 5-game winning streak. How proud are you of this defense and what you were able to accomplish in overtime?
I'm so proud. You know, it started in the summer, you know, where we got to get 6 kills in order to end practice. You know, forever how many kills we don't have, we have to run 22. So that's really where it started. And I just can't be more proud of this team, you know, just what we've been through and just how we just keep on fighting along and keep pushing.
Congratulations, Graham.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Back to you guys.
Graham Ike, 28 points in 29 minutes. The game winner again to beat Utah State. No surprise, it's our Wyo Lotto play of the game.
Yeah, just can't say enough about that young man. What an interview, what character. You can tell this team is all about the togetherness. And I mean, look at Wenzel in there trying to make his effort, but the grown man going in there doing what grown men do. Again, talking about dear mama, there goes that man. There he is again, coming up clutch for this team with a monstrous rebound in traffic and the layup, and gives kind of the grimace at the end of the game. And I mean, you just got to give him credit early on to not be in the game for almost the entire first half. Just such a total group effort. You see the stats, so many things that can stick out to you, but an evenly matched team, evenly matched game. Ultimately, in this league, it comes down to how do you finish, and this Wyoming team has just continued to be able to finish games. Credit to the coaching staff, credit to the players, and I think they want to be in that top 25. What do you think, Chris?
I think they deserve to be in that top 25. Wyoming now 20-3, 9-1 in the Mountain West, and they stay perfect inside Arena Auditorium. What a thriller in overtime tonight from Laramie. Wyoming holds on to take down Utah State 78-76. So for our broadcast team of the coach Brian Burton and Bridget Howard, roaming all around the hardwood tonight, my name's Chris Sylvester saying so long from Laramie, Wyoming, where the Cowboys win a 5th straight game, 78-76 in overtime over Utah State. The Pokes sweep the regular season series from the Aggies. For more live Wyoming athletic broadcasts, features, and info, visit GoWild.com. This has been an exclusive presentation of the Mountain West Network. Good night, everybody.